guys, happy Monday. It is Monday Motivation and it is almost summer. I'm wearing my, what does this one say? Happy vibes, happy place, or whatever it says. What does it say? Choose happy. I got my pineapples. And actually today, I like this that says choose happy because we are going to be talking about our language. And it is Monday Motivation, so we are talking about listening to our language and how we speak. So I'm going to quickly just jump on my page, make sure that I'm live. Whoop, whoop. I am, thank goodness. And I'm going to go ahead and share this so more people can join us. Whoop, whoop. Let me share this really fast, everybody. And number one, I just want to thank you for supporting me. Thank you for coming out to Mary Fulton Fit and being with me all this time. Hey, what's up? And if you're there, give me a heart. I want to see the comments. If you are with me live, let me share this on my other platform, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I promise, if you stay with me today, you're going to get a few tips to help you change your mindset, change your language. You're going to walk away with some gifts today. So today I am talking about, I'm actually sharing with you guys, have you guys ever heard of Stephen Covey? 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I've shared a little bit about him before. Today I'm going to just dive right in. Join me, Motivation Monday. Okay, here we go. I'm going to dive right into the language and how we speak to ourselves. And so here we go. So guys, listening to our language. And before you leave today, I just want you to put a comment in the section of something that you learned before you go. And I pray that this touches your heart. So, man, I've been with you guys for over a year, coming on Motivation Mondays, Tasty Tuesdays, Wellness Wednesdays. I've missed chatting with you guys. I want to dig real deep. Let's talk about 2 different things today. So, on one side today, we're going to talk about reactive language, and we're going to talk about proactive language. Give me a thumbs up if you know what reactive language is. And if you know what it is, throw it in the chat box. Give me a statement that would be a reactive language. Does anybody know what that is? Let me give you some examples of what reactive language is, okay? Reactive language is, there's nothing I can do. Hi, Mary, what's up? That's just the way I am. He makes me so mad. They won't allow that. I have to do that. I can't. I must, if only. Those are all reactive language. So, you know, a lot of us have probably been in that reactive zone. I can't, I don't have time. I have to do this. I'm so mad at my son or my daughter. They make me feel this way, right? Raise your hand if you can relate to any of these statements and if they've come out of your mouth before. They have for me a lot. And I'm still working on changing some of this reactive language. And when you start to change these reactive, this language to the proactive language, you're going to see some changes in your life. So let me tell you some of the alternatives to what proactive language looks like. So let's look at our alternatives. I can choose a different approach. I control my own feelings. I can create an effective presentation. I will choose an appropriate response. I choose, I prefer, I will. Versus, I can't, I must, if only. Listen to the difference in both of those, right? Reactive, I can't, I must, if only. And then proactive, I choose, I prefer, and I will. These words will change you fundamentally from being into reactive and feeling like you're stuck in a situation to really realizing that you can own whatever's going on. You see, hi Sharon, thanks for stopping in. You're going to love this today. You see, guys, life isn't happening to us. It's happening for us. That's by Tony Robbins. Life is not happening to us. It's happening for us. Things are going to come. Obstacles are going to come. Heartbreak's going to come. We're going to lose people we love. We're going to maybe get sick, or somebody next to us is going to get sick. We're going to lose a job. We're going to maybe not complete the one thing that we wanted to finish, or we may fall out of love in our relationships that we have. These things happen. They're real. Why are there so many books out there about problems and obstacles and overcoming challenges? If we would realize that in a positive way, life is full of obstacles and challenges, and instead of looking at them in that negative way, look at them as they're coming to us. What can we learn from it? What can we take away from it and change our language? Listen again. Reactive language is I can't, I must, if only. Proactive is I choose, I prefer, and I will. Let me read a few things to you guys from the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I really recommend it. If you can't buy it, you can also listen to it on YouTube. But I'm in this section. I've read the book before. It's really helped me a lot. And right now I am in this section. And so I'm going to read a few things to you. Tell me if you relate. Give me a thumbs up or a high five when you hear one that relates to you. Ready? The language of reactive people absolves their responsibility. And I'm not attacking anybody by saying this. I'm just reading from the book. And I'm also saying I have been a reactive person in my life for a long time. I'm finally learning these triggers and being able to change them. So listen, the language of a reactive person absolves them from responsibility. For example, that's me. That's just the way I am. That's what somebody would say. And basically saying, I am determined. There's nothing I can do about it. That's it. I'm stubborn. So that's it. That's just how it is. I'm just always going to be stubborn. Is that true? Or even someone saying, well, I'm a Pisces. So that's just it. That's who I am. But why is it that we put ourselves in these little bubbles? Shouldn't we challenge ourselves outside of ourselves? So if I'm a stubborn person, don't you think that maybe I should challenge that part of my personality and maybe back down sometimes and be a good listener to somebody else and not be so headstrong? Yeah. If I am a risk taker and ready to jump into everything, but my husband is more not a risk taker, should I always be risk taking, or should I be listening in to the other side and maybe back off of some of those things? So listen to the next one. He makes me so mad. I am not responsible. My emotional life governed by somebody else outside my control. Raise your hand or give me a thumbs up if you have ever said, that person makes me so mad, I just can't. They just make me feel this way. They make me feel that way. Raise your hand. Somebody give me a heart or something. I know I'm not alone out there. I have said this about my children many a times. This is not the right approach. This is totally a reactive approach. You see, why does my son have control over me? Why did, when my neighbor was really, really mean to me years ago, he have control over me and provide fear in my life? Why did I let those things govern and control me? I wasn't pleasant and wasn't happy when I let them, but I let those things control me. And they shouldn't have, because of my language. I didn't feel like I could control those things, and I let those things govern me. You guys, we can take back the control. You cannot control someone, how they treat you, if they're nice to you, mean to you, neglect you, whatever. All you can control is your reaction to these things. So you do have a sense of control. Not what they're doing to you, how they do it to you, but how you react. And that's why I keep listening. I can't do that. I just don't have time. Oh man, was I really in reactiveness 3 years ago before COVID, or 2 years ago before COVID. I remember my friend Zach, I said to him, I just can't, I have 3 kids and the work and everything. I was in overwhelm. I was totally drowning in my life. It was a big life I was leading, but I let it consume me because of this. I don't have time. And he said to me, Mary, here's this book. I want you to read it. It's not that you don't have time. It's that you're not making time for it. So don't say you don't have time for it. Say that you just don't choose to do it. And I was like, yeah, that's very true. Changed my life. Started that was the beginning of it, before COVID even happened. And when COVID came, well, I feel like I grew up like 10 years in the last year. Mentally, emotionally, just everything, you know, all of us have. And hi, Mina, but man, I don't have time. That is not the truth, guys. Something outside me limiting time is controlling me. Nothing controls you. You decide how you want to do it. Yes, time can control you if you let it. You totally can let it control you, or you have the choice. Look, if only my wife were more patient. Someone else's behavior is limiting my effectiveness. Guys, it's a cop-out. All of these things are cop-outs. Raise your hand if you've copped out. Raise your hand. Yes? Yes, raise your hand. Amen. Thank you, Mina. Hey, Mina, thank you. It says you should become a life coach. I'm going to take what you're saying and take it to the next level. I will, because it's part of my process of where I want to go. So these things, guys, reactive and proactive, we have a choice every day, even when things are really terrible, you guys. So a beautiful young boy just lost his dad, and you know how he chose to do his day? Yesterday, he's on my son's baseball team. He showed up to the baseball game, and he said, I want to play for my dad. He's 12. His father passed away, and he still chose to live in gratitude. He wanted to be with his team. He's got a strength that some of us really wish that we had, right? And he's 12. That made me really think about the reactive versus the proactive, how we want to live our life, right? So I want to read a couple things here just because I think it's so important. Right here it says, is a little story. Let me come over here. I think this one's really, really good. So I'm going to read a couple excerpts. A serious problem with reactive language is that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. People become reinforced in the paradigm that they are determined, and they produce an evidence to support the belief. They feel increasingly victimized, out of control, not in charge of their life or their destiny, and they blame outside forces, people, circumstances, whatever, for their own behaviors. And I think that most of us could probably say we've done that at some point in our time. It's my teacher's fault. That's why I'm failing my class. It's my mom's fault and my dad's fault that I turned out stubborn and crazy. You know what, guys? We got to own up our own stuff. And yes, of course, there are consequences to other people who are around us. But at the end of the day, as we grow up, it's not our mom or dad's fault how we turned out or didn't turn out. There's a lot of underdogs out there that went through some really, really hard things, and they still come out on top and pushing through with a good attitude because they were able to find that gratitude and that hope and that joy even in the midst of really, really hard things. I want to share this next part with you, okay? I think it's really powerful. Can you sit with me while I read something? So he went to a seminar. I'm going to summarize this part. And it was basically about a man who said to him, look, my marriage, I'm really worried. My wife and I just don't have feelings for each other anymore. We don't love each other, okay? And she doesn't love me. What can I do? The feeling isn't there anymore. Please listen. This is such a powerful excerpt because, and I'm not saying, you know, everybody has a different situation with divorce or whatever relationships or anything you've gone through, okay? But I'm just reading this excerpt and I think we can apply it to everything in our life. So just listen. The feeling isn't there anymore, I asked. That's right, he reaffirmed. We have 3 children, really concerned. And he goes, what do you suggest? And Stephen said to him, love her. I told you the feeling just isn't there anymore. Love her, Stephen says to the man. You don't understand. I don't feel it anymore. I just don't love her anymore. Then love her. If the feeling isn't there, that's a good reason to love her. But how do you love when you don't love anymore? My friend, he said, love is a verb. Love the feeling is a fruit of love the verb. So love her, serve her, sacrifice, listen to her, empathize, appreciate, affirm her. Are you willing to do that? Man, this was so powerful when I was reading it before I came on live. How many of us have felt this in situations to love somebody else, whether it's a spouse or a relationship or even just being kind and loving to somebody at work or wanting to go to work or whatever it is. You can apply it to so many things. Please listen. In the great literature of all progressive societies, love is a verb. Reactive people make it a feeling. They're driven by feelings. Hollywood has scripted out us to believe that we are not responsible and that we are a product of our feelings. But the Hollywood script does not describe reality. If our feelings control our actions, it's because we have abided our responsibility and empowered them to do so. If our feelings control our actions, it's because we've abided to them and let them do so. Guys, feelings change, you know? I mean, you could have woken up happy and then 5 minutes later spilled coffee all over yourself and now you're not feeling happy anymore. You're feeling angry. Feelings change, right? They come and go like waves. And so if we treat our relationships or the things that we have to do as just with what we feel, I don't feel like this job is the one for me. Well, but maybe in the moment it's the one for you because you got to provide, right? Or maybe you need to get through some of the rough edges and learn some hard things in that job to make you be ready for the next thing. If we're so quick to always looking to where we are going to be happy all the time and feeling things, we may be missing out on the bigger picture. Feelings come and go and they change. And life isn't just about feeling good all the time. Sometimes we got to feel some hard stuff and be still in it. And that's where we grow and get stronger. Because life, yes, live in gratitude no matter what, but it has hard things. And sometimes we have to feel those hard things to get to the next place. He says, proactive people make love a verb. Love is something you do and sacrifices you make. Giving of yourself, like a mother bringing a newborn into the world. If you want to study love, study those who sacrifice for others. Wow. Did you hear that? If you want to study love, study those who sacrifice for others. You guys, that is really truly the example of love. When we sacrifice ourselves for other people. Even for people who offend you or do not love in return. Isn't that the biggest gift? Have you ever experienced either giving love to somebody who wasn't loving to you? Or maybe you weren't loving to somebody else and they showed you love and grace. It's powerful. It's really powerful. If you are a partner, look at the love you have for a child, for children you sacrifice for. Love is a value that is actualized through loving actions. Proactive people subordinate feelings to values. Love the feeling can be recaptured. That gives me a lot of hope today. How many of you are out there maybe feeling like, maybe you're in a relationship that feels like there's no love, but after reading this, you realize, have I been sacrificing, listening, empathizing, appreciating, affirming? Have I been willing to do those things to find that love again? Or in the same sense, have you been doing those things for a job you're in or another friendship you're in? Have you really been giving of yourself? Sometimes we expect a lot in return, but we're not willing to do the work that it requires. Guys, life is work under the sun. It's a chasing after the wind. It doesn't end. You don't just get a beautiful relationship and it stays beautiful forever. I'm going to be married 20 years now in July. It takes hard work and some days don't want to put the work in. just like the gym. Man, do you think that you're just going to keep the perfect body forever? You lost the 40 pounds? No. It's constant work. What about your relationships with your friends? Since COVID, our relationships have changed. Have you put the work into those friendships? Oh, they don't call me anymore. I don't think they like me anymore. But have you served them? Have you affirmed them? Have you reached out to them? See, it's easy for us to be the victim. It's easy for us to go into this reactive language. There's nothing I can do. That's just the way I am. He makes me so mad. They won't allow that. I have to do that. I can't. I must, if only. But if we stop for a second and captured our words, you don't have to do anything. You choose it. You prefer it. I will. Let's look at our alternatives, right? Instead of saying, there's nothing I can do, what if you say, let's look at our alternatives, right? Maybe you are in a really tight spot right now. You don't like your job. You feel miserable. Okay. Then instead of saying, there's nothing I can do because I have to keep this job, let's switch that thinking to, let's look at our alternatives. Can I find another job? Can I do something different at this company? Can I work less hours, more hours? Can I change my hours? Pivoting and seeing the glass half full instead of half empty, right? I can choose a different approach. So that's just the way I am. Come on, guys. How many of us have said that? It really is a cop-out. And it's pretty selfish if you think about it. I've said it to my husband plenty of times. It's just how I am. And it's not really fair because I decided to marry him and I vowed to be married to him for the rest of my life. And what were my vows? My vows were pretty powerful. They were through good and bad, through sickness and health, right? Giving, taking. These are all things that go into that. So I control my own feelings. I can create an effective presentation. I will choose appropriate response. I choose, I prefer, and I will. I just want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope that you were able to stay to the end and learn something today. And I just want to encourage you that you can control your outcomes by just the language that you use. So let's not sit in reactive language. Let's not be reactive to things. Let's take a step back, be more proactive, and see what we can do and change. Hey guys, thanks so much for being a part of the Mary Fulton Fit family, where we are stronger together, mind, body, soul. Don't forget to sign up for the Mermaid Workout. It's live in person or live stream. Go to my shop. It's only $10. And also we got Suns Out, Guns Out 4 coming out for July. So we love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for all your support. And see you soon. Thanks.